Hey, and welcome to Lemon Drops, brought to you by the Smokeylemon crew. Well, we're talking branding, marketing, and everything in between. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's drop in. Welcome back to Lemon Drops, and today in front of the camera we have the man that's normally behind the camera, Mr. Stu Sutherland from Smokeylemon. Hi, Stu.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Now it's a bit different for you being on this side of the camera.
It is actually, yeah. Usually I get to sit behind there and just like enjoy.
Exactly, yeah. This time the spotlight's on you, mate.
Yeah.
So you are our senior designer here at Smokeylemon, photographer, storyteller, and you also produce the widely read franchise New Zealand magazine each quarter on behalf of Smokeylemon.
Yes.
So we're going to cover off some of those things today. And so just talk about your journey and your values and your creative grit.
Yep.
So let's start with Stu early days. So a bit about your background and how you found your way into graphic design and multimedia here in Taranaki. Yeah.
So I think like when it comes to creativity, that was something that I always gravitated towards at school and things. Right from primary school, art was always the favourite thing, doing projects that you came home with, but then also really supported in that way by mum and dad.
Right.
Like if anything artistic came home, mum and dad were always there to help. Mum and dad are quite artistic as well, so dad, while he was an accountant, really liked drawing. He does a lot of boat building.
Nice.
And other crafts and stuff. He's working on my house today.
Thanks, Dad.
And mum's an artist as well, so she does paintings and she's in like Jane's Gallery and that kind of stuff. So that's always been, I suppose, in the blood.
Yes, and when you grow up around it, you know, you can sometimes be a prodigy of that as well.
That's right. Yeah. And so all throughout high school, you know, hey, you always kind of pressured into what are you going to do after school and that. It was kind of. I finished high school in 2008. And
boys high?
Yeah, boys high, yeah. And so that was a time where I suppose graphic design wasn't really a really like solid or seen to be a solid like career path.
It was kind of more like architectural, that sort of side.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so, and it's not that it wasn't there. Like obviously, graphic design is hugely popular as a career choice. So it wasn't really something that was pushed too hard by universities.
Right,
I suppose it was something that me and my parents had to look into as an option. And then by the time you get into high school, graphic design's a subject, something I was really interested in and excelled at. So then we looked in Massey University in Wellington, have the creative campus there, and that's where you can go and study to become graphic designer, a photographer, advertising, that kind of thing. Yeah, and they also do like fashion and all sorts of stuff. So went there, that's where I met my wife.
She was at the same school?
Yeah, she was, So she studied advertising and got my degree in visual communication design. And then it came to leaving Wellington or finishing university. And it seemed like the whole year from our year was going to stay in Wellington.
Okay, yeah.
And we thought, like 300 others going for the small amount of jobs.
True.
Plus probably 60% from the year before who were still stuck around.
Yeah.
We thought, that's quite tough. So we moved to Auckland.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and my wife got her job in Ponsonby in real estate marketing pretty early on. Yeah. And then I think it was March of the year of 2012 when I graduated, the year after I finished, I got a job at Colenso BBDO, which is one of the...
It's a big wig, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's one of the biggest ad agencies in New Zealand.
Good score.
Yeah, I know. And at the time, they were actually rated, they just won the WARC Most Creative Agency in the World Award.
Wow.
Which they won like several times while I was there.
Yeah.
So they weren't just at the top of the table in New Zealand, they were on the world stage. And
what a great place to start your career.
Oh, totally, yeah. And like right age as well, because Colenso was a very work hard, play hard kind of environment. So lots of really late nights and that kind of stuff, but then also lots of fun and lots of partying and that
so
kind of stuff.
kind of work for partying.
Yeah.
I guess you.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't imagine doing it now.
No, we started and finished early now,
Yeah. But,
so you spent quite a bit of time there.
Yes.
And eventually came back to Taranaki.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was there 5.5 years in the studio. Yeah. And then... And I loved Colenso. I could have quite happily stayed, but Auckland is not the place for us, me and my wife,
Yeah.
who are both small town kids,
Totally.
to raise a family.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any family there because
Right.
like I'm from here, my wife's from the Waikato, so
Yeah.
we wanted to be near family when it came to raising our own.
Absolutely.
And so we chose New Plymouth because I said, I don't mind where we go, but it
Yeah.
has to be by the water.
Okay, yeah.
Which kind of knocks
Yeah, well played.
Hamilton out.
Yeah.
And so we ended up here, and I was lucky that Nikki really liked New
Loves
Plymouth
it
as
too.
well.
Yeah, and
so-
Waikato's not too far away for family either, right?
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
really good.
And now you're raising 2 girls.
Yes,
Yeah,
5 and a 3-year-old.
Oh, and you're like kind of like Chief Daddy daycare sort of.
Yes, yeah. So I pick them up from school
Yeah.
and like have them for the afternoon, and then do all the school things and all that. Yeah, I love it. It's the
Yeah,
best,
you thrive on it. Yeah.
I do, yeah.
You can tell, yeah. So that's what brought you back to New Plymouth then. So then you came, is that when you came to Smokeylemon?
Yeah, so before we moved down, I reached out to a few places around town, and Mum and Dad knew Mandy from the yacht club.
Yep.
And I hadn't met Mandy at that stage. Well, I had at a very young age,
Yeah.
just running around, being a kid at the yacht
Yeah,
club, running
sure.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I reached out to Mandy,
Yeah.
and we caught up over a beer one Sunday, and then, she had a job for me that week.
Brilliant.
And then it was all on.
Yeah. And so how many years have you been with Smokeylemon now?
It would be probably 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's been a long time now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Stu, so tell us about most memorable projects or challenges during your years here at Smokeylemon. What stands out in your mind?
Heaps of both.
Yeah.
For sure. One thing I really like doing is packaging design.
Right,
Yeah.
the product.
Yeah, so I've had a few beer bottles come through.
Yeah.
And Manuka juice, the energy drink as
Yes,
well.
yeah.
Which has been really fun.
And like when you then see that on the shelf, like in a shop or whatever to buy, do you feel proud? Like
Yeah,
that's my
totally.
work?
Yeah.
It must be a cool feeling.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. And then there's you did some work for offshore wind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good one to bring up. So Jimmy, who's behind the camera today, our creative director, So for Taranaki Offshore Wind, who sponsor WOMAD, they wanted some models to show the scale of the wind turbines that'll be out at sea. And Jimmy and Mandy, talked them through these models and how they were going to do it. And then it came to me to
design them and
to make them,
because these were to be on display at WOMAD.
Yeah, and they were physical, so
Yeah.
it wasn't graphic design so much as it was
Like a
getting
3D
in the
model.
workshop, and like sanding and buying huge bottles of resin and pouring that into a fish tank to make the ocean.
Yes.
And mixing sand and plaster of Paris with black ink to make the sand on the bottom. And, it was really challenging because one thing through working with Dad with his boat building and stuff in the house, one thing he always taught me with resin is like it's exothermic. So if you mix too much up, it can catch fire.
Oh, gosh.
And so I was pouring, buckets of the stuff, and it did get really hot. Did get really hot, but luckily it was stuff that was meant to be poured in huge quantities.
Okay.
But even with that, huge challenges.
Your dad jumped on board to help again.
Yeah, and it was like having to get Dad's advice on how to overcome those challenges and even bring it round to his house, to his workshop sometimes to get it to work out. So but they came out really well in the end, and that was something that was really different to what I usually do.
Totally, because it was off the computer and hands-on, really.
And it's kind of just made me like a classic jack of all trades,
which is
for Smokeylemon, which is like, if you've got anything that's a bit left of field, like
still do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Sign Stu up.
But by far one of my favourite projects is probably the franchise magazine.
Yes, so this was one of the things we really wanted to focus on today. And so you basically every quarter you do the franchise magazine. So what does that look like? What's that entail?
So it's done over 3 weeks, and I do 2 weeks here in New Plymouth where I work remotely with the franchise team who are in Warkworth, or Snells Beach, in Auckland, North Auckland, and then I do the last week from Auckland, and we work in a collab space in Orewa, and we put the final magazine together, but what it is like, so for those first 2 weeks, week 1 they start filtering pages through, and I start making them up,
like the layout,
and like that's all your editorials and things, and so we're making those up, sending them back to clients to approve, addressing feedback, that kind of thing. And the second week, that ramps up.
Right.
So we're doing more of them, and we're starting to get some editorial pages in. And then the final week in Auckland, we're kind of doing the last of the editorial pages. So your contents page, all that kind of stuff, as well as just finalising some of those editorial pages and starting to put it together.
So what is the magazine for? Like, is it for, like, does it just include all sorts of different franchises?
Yeah, so it is, it's your source of truth, really, for franchising in New Zealand, for buying and selling franchises. And I didn't realise until working on the magazine how many franchises New Zealand has, and the opportunity it brings for people as well. Because it does really give you the ability to buy your own business, and they can be quite successful right off the bat as well. And the magazine gives everyone the opportunity to advertise there. So they're advertising buying franchises as opposed to, if there's a coffee franchise on it, they're not advertising to customers to come and buy their coffee. They're advertising to people who are wanting to buy a business in their local, in the region or an area that is available.
And does that generate into sales and things? Like,
definitely. Yeah. And so they've got the magazine, and then that's backed up by the website as well, which there's all the a lot of the magazine content will make its way onto the website, and that gets huge amounts of engagement from people for this kind of thing. So
that's a contract Smokeylemon's had for a wee while with Franchise NZ.
It is, yeah. So Mandy went to the franchise conference. So there's Franchise New Zealand or Franchise New Zealand Media who do the magazine, and then there's Fans, which is the association, and they're two different entities. And Fans run the national conference, and Franchise New Zealand go to it, and Mandy went to that conference as like a put up like a stall at it and stuff, and that's how she met all these people, and it just timed that Franchise's designer who was doing the magazine was retiring, and so they got me in, and I did one. The first issue was like a trial where I worked with Paul to learn the ropes and see what it was all about, and then got the tick. And I've done about 8 now. Or maybe this one coming up in next week or the week after, depending when you see this, is my 8th one.
Wow. And the magazine's recently been redesigned.
Yes.
So talk us through that.
Yeah, so they've got a parent company, Eden X, and Jimmy did the rebranding for them, with the understanding that parent company's branding would kind of filter down to their sub-brands, Franchise being one of them. And so it was about taking the original magazine and then re-skinning it kind of thing into this new design to fit in with the Eden X brand. And so it was quite challenging because the technical side behind the way that the magazine works is there's a level of automation between Sally from Franchise, who's the general manager there, her and her team working in Microsoft Word, making up the words for the editorials and advertorials and stuff, and then those get brought into InDesign, which is what I use to lay the magazine pages out. And through that automation of it coming in, it picks up styles for headings and subheadings and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't just a case of redesigning it to fit what Jimmy had done for Eden X.
Yeah.
It was also about that technical side of making sure that when these documents start coming through, that they're picking up those new styles and things. And it actually went a lot smoother than I was expecting.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think we had time left over at the end.
That's good.
Which, we've used to like update some other assets and stuff.
Where can you get the Franchise Media magazine?
Through their website.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's free.
Oh, okay.
It's Get Your Free magazine on the website. And so so you just go to franchise.co.nz and there's a big button right there on the homepage.
Get the magazine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What have you learned about the franchising sector while working with Franchise NZ?
Yeah, I suppose like how big it is.
Because when you think of franchises, you think of like Subway or
exactly,
King
McDonald's and that kind of. You always think of fast food.
You do. Here we are.
But then there's also I wouldn't say smaller ones, but more niche ones like cleaning companies, mechanics.
Right.
There's even like ice cream shops.
So
there's all sorts.
Not just shops, it's like businesses as well. Yeah.
It's businesses that just go the breadth of New Zealand. Yeah.
Wow. So have you learnt quite a bit then in that time? Yeah.
I have.
Ever seen one where you thought, I could buy that franchise?
Toy World.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I love Toy World here in Fitzroy, and
shout out to Glenn at Toy World Strandon.
Huge fan of your work. I always say that up in Auckland, the women up there know that Toy World's my favourite franchise. And now that I've got kids, I get to go back there for Christmas and birthday presents and stuff, and have a good peruse around.
Probably just pop in there without the kids too, and just use them as
I probably could. Yeah.
Is there any Toy World franchises at the moment?
Well, not New Plymouth.
Okay, because Glenn's holding on tight.
Exactly,
yeah. It's so interesting, and I think that's the thing about working with Smokeylemon, because we're an agency. You never know what job you're going to be working on next,
And that's been that's been really true, because there's like this magazine, and then like I mentioned before, the wind turbines, and then there's photography jobs and video jobs and website jobs, podcasts.
We did some really neat work with Age Concern as well.
I loved that.
Their artwork for Pōranga Wahia, and Stu's the man behind all the creative for that as well. And so we get to try so many different things, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's really cool when you get to see those things come together as well.
To fruition. Yeah. And when you can sit at your desk drinking your Manuka juice from the can you design. Yeah. We have to hide it from Stu, he's quite a fan.
I go through a lot of that when it's in the fridge.
So just going back to the magazines, Stu, like with magazines, obviously the cover's crucial. Like, I know my husband's Tom from when the cover shot, it's a cool thing. And so a lot must go into that cover, so people would pick that up to then want to read the magazine. Yeah.
And recently we've been doing the cover a bit earlier than the magazine. Sally will come through and say, this is what the headings are going to be, and we'll start thinking about what the images are going to be. This time I got it almost 2 months early, because we finished a magazine and then went into the redesign in time for the next one, which was the last issue that came out, the winter version. And it was really good, because I had all that information and what kind of image we were looking for. I kind of put all that together and then ran those ideas past Jimmy,
our creative director,
because of course he's across the Eden X design that he did. He's the best to kind of see how that's coming to life throughout the magazine. So Jimmy had a lot to do with looking at the rest of the magazine and giving me like feedback on that as well. But Jimmy's feedback on the cover really brought it to life.
Brilliant.
And we had that signed off well before magazine production, which was good. Yeah. So like when I turned up to Auckland, we always get the cover or the cover options and print them out and blue tack them to the wall, and we all decide which one we're going to go with. This time I almost turned up on the Monday morning, printed it straight out. It sat there for the rest of the week. And it was all done.
No other options.
No.
Brilliant. That's good. And that's the beauty about because you're part of an agency, when you do that work, you can call on the rest of the team.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's really good, is that you've got all those different levels of experience and knowledge that you can bring together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Have you heard of a thing called truck and trailer in a? Oh, I know you would have heard of truck and trailer, but in a magazine, apparently double page spread's called a truck and trailer.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard that. Because when I worked in advertising, it was always just DPS or double page spread.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that was like the best ad space you could get.
Totally,
a double page spread. Yeah.
Most expensive too.
Yeah.
So I guess to sum up the Franchise New Zealand magazine work that you do is that, we could do other magazines. Can we do other magazines?
Yeah, as long as they don't clash.
Yes.
Yeah.
No competition.
Yeah.
They are,
oh no, I was meaning. Yes. Good point.
Yeah.
Not clashing, as I wouldn't do another franchise magazine.
Yeah.
But also timing. I wouldn't be able to run two at the same time.
True. Yeah. So we could do it on the other quarter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, and let's just wrap up, Stu, by going talking about the balancing the demands of different clients and industries and media formats and where you find your inspiration. Like, as a creative person, do you get blocks?
Oh, totally. Yeah. And I find that can be the tricky part about what we do as designers is you can turn up in the morning and your creative mind could be attached to, if you're like in a bad mood, if you've woken up on the wrong side of the bed, that kind of thing. Again, that's where it's good that we've got a team here to lean on.
Yes.
Because if you get to the end of your time on a job and it's not quite clicking, you've got others to reach on, which is really good.
Yeah.
When it comes to working through heaps of different industries, that is tricky because you could be working on an offshore wind farm one day and then
a house building company
the next day, or a beer can or something. And so that's where collaborating with the clients is really important because they're the experts in their field,
and often they have an idea, do they? But it's just a matter of articulating that for us to understand it. Or
you giving them ideas is, from what you've said, I understand this, we could do this, that and the other thing, and them going away with it as well. And it's really cool when they get excited about what you've pitched, because then it gets you excited and then you're creative.
And then you're on the same page.
That's right.
Brilliant. Well, we appreciate your time today, Stuart. It's nice to have you on this side of the camera instead of the other. How did it feel?
Oh, it was all good. Yeah. I've watched so many now.
Yeah, true. You have been in here with us most of our podcasts, so we really appreciate that. And it's just an example of how your talent can have, even though we're here local, can have like nationwide impact, And it doesn't matter that our agency is based here in Taranaki.
No.
We work right around the country.
Yeah, and that's just, it's so much easier to be remote now.
Definitely.
Because you've got all the technology in the world to allow you to. So
that's it. Yeah. No, well, we appreciate your time, Stu. We love you. We love having you part of us.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah.
We'll catch you next time on Lemon Drops.
Nice.
Cool.
And
Did it.